When I found out about the Women's Rights Center, I said, this is something I have to be a part of. I was part of, my mother's a single mother. I grew up with a single mother, and it could have been me at any time. My father was abusive to my mother. And my heart bled when I heard the stories. And I was like, you know what? This could have been me at any given time. And it could be any of us at any given time. No one knows when the world could fall out from under you. And as women, we have to support each other, give back to each other, stand together. So we have to make it happen and get these women back on their feet.
I am thrilled to be here, in particular to honor Margaret Josephs. I've known Margaret for, over 20 years at least. I've watched her evolve into the force of nature that she is now. I think it wasn't much evolution. It was more us getting to know who she was.
A few of the things that I've been involved in with the Women's Rights Center were trying to make the women feel good and give them stories of inspiration. On Thanksgiving, we did a great drive for them and gave turkeys so they could have beautiful meals with their families. So I did a great day of beauty for them, a spa day, a beautiful lunch. So anything to make the women really feel that we could do something just for them. Their cash flow is so tight, and especially during this pandemic, we had to make sure that they could get Amazon gift cards. So anytime that we could do anything for the Women's Center, I like to be a part of it.
I'm a pediatric hematologist, oncologist, so I take care of children with cancer and blood diseases. And there has never been a time when I've called upon Margaret that she hasn't arrived with bells and whistles, tells the whole story, advocates for our patients, advocates for our families, gets personally involved. So much so that the hospital, the Cone Children's Medical Center, calls on me as if I'm her booking agent.
I'm humbled and blessed to be honored to be a community change maker, because I just feel like this is what I do every day, and we all do it every day. So I'm just so grateful, because when one woman is taken care of, the community is taken care of. We all are in it together. So I'm not doing anything that any person wouldn't do. If you see someone not doing well and you can make their life better and make a change, it makes a change for all of us. It makes our community stronger.
It's not about her marketing and her merchandise, and it's not about her appearance on television. I mean, that's sort of what drew people to her originally, but once you get to know her personally, it's about calling Margaret. And if all her stuff went away, they'd still call Margaret. She is remarkable.
So when I could give back to the Women's Rights Center and help the women there, it's just making our community so much stronger.
Was born here at Englewood Health, grew up in Englewood. So Englewood is near and dear to my heart and the community. And that's part of what brings me here today on behalf of Englewood Health, to thank the Women's Rights Center for recognizing Englewood as a change maker. I think the mission and the work that your team does really aligns closely, that we're focused on improving the quality of life of our community, and we're so proud to be a partner with you.
And you've all been wonderful partners for Englewood Health. Our ability to connect to the audiences and the populations that we are really looking to serve in a meaningful way, you all do the work with them every day. And so it's really been a win-win in terms of our ability to take our areas of expertise and content and using the Women's Rights and Information Center as a place to connect.
It's the most important way that we can help the community to take care of themselves and start with the foundation of good health.
Since this partnership began, we have been able to continually, over the last couple of years, offer clients a whole new dynamic of services, such as like health and wellness, vision boards, yoga and meditation. You know, it really, it took us to another level. And Jennifer and her staff, they sort of had the same vision.
We do the work because it's where our hearts and our minds are at. It's what the community needs. But to be called out for this amazing, amazing honor, it feels really good. It's affirmation and confirmation that what we're doing is important, that it's really impacting the lives of a lot of people. So I guess to take a moment and to celebrate that is just a really nice opportunity.
They went above and beyond actually what we ever expected as an agency, offering programs with incentives, with weekly check-ins, with personal one-on-one consultations. And in the height of the pandemic, when isolation and depression, and there were so many people in suffering, this really opened up a door for connection.
We had an idea to do a educational seminar on how to parent during the pandemic. And as soon as we reached out to you, you raised your hand and you said, yes, let's do this. Let's get as many people as we can and let's see what happens. And we were on the cutting edge, doing it before anyone else was doing it. So that meant a lot. One of the really terrific aspects of working with the Women's Rights and Information Center is the dedication of their staff in helping us to be successful. And you can tell it's more than just a job because they're so caring and compassionate about the people that they serve and so responsible and on top of everything they do.
To be considered a community change maker by the Women's Rights Information Center is really an honor that helps to acknowledge the work that we do. Each day we come to work with a goal as nonprofits to take care of our community. And it's really just a validation, and it's an honor to be recognized by an organization like yours. So thank you on behalf of the entire Englewood Health team.
I am so happy to be able to talk about Sunita Ponton. She has been a pastor at Metro Community Church for the past 4 years now, and I've gotten to know her quite a bit.
I am really excited about Women's Rights Information Center. I think one of the things that most impressed me when I went to visit is how much is taking place in such a small space. Once you enter those walls, it is a whole new world. And to see the commitment, to see women's lives transformed on so many different levels. You know, the mission is the wholeness and the wellness of women, whatever that looks like. Really trying to make sure that women are prepared. And in the past year, during the pandemic, seeing women's rights step up also to give people food and diapers and formula, and just really helping to meet the needs of women and families and men in this community is tremendous.
Sunita never walks around thinking that she knows that she is the know-all, be-all kind of a person. She's always willing to listen, to consider the other person's opinions and thoughts. But then she also is not afraid to share her thoughts. There aren't too many people in this world quite like her. When you look at her educational pedigree, Columbia University, Harvard Law School, Duke University, and the kind of sort of education she received, and yet coupled with that, you know that she's an incredibly intelligent person, but yet she's an incredibly humble person. It's a rare combination. And what I love about her involvement here at Metro is because she is a daughter of the city of Englewood, and she's a product of this city. She's a success story. And when I think of Sunita, I hope that she, through her leadership, will continue to serve the Englewood community, and there would be hopefully hundreds, if not thousands, of Sunita Pontons, male and female, in the future. And I know with her passion for this city, her passion for the community, that's going to happen.
Look, this world is not easy. And there's so many issues affecting women, affecting people of color. And it has been humbling, but also a joy to work alongside Lil and women's rights, to see them show up for the clients they serve and also for other people, like other communities. And, you know, I'm thinking specifically around issues of race, helping to provide services that are very important and very necessary, but also saying, hey, your voice matters. And I want to amplify your voice, and I'm going to stand there with you and help you as best I can. It's pretty humbling to be considered a community change maker, in part because I see so much that I'd like to change. So I hope I'm making a difference in some realm. We developed a racial justice organization crew because we saw what was happening nationally and said we need to do something about it locally. And I don't think we ever could have imagined what came or would come from that. And you know, the funny thing about it is that we didn't really know each other, and you all just said yes. You all showed up, and we all continue to show up for one another. And I think that's really been wonderful.
Sunita, enjoy your sabbatical. She's going on sabbatical from June, July. So don't bother her on June and July. I promise I won't call you.
You know, people ask me about Ronnie Siegel, and I know her in so many different ways. I know her as the professional lawyer that she is. I knew her when she served as a judge, but most of all, I know her as a friend. She's one of those people who provided me with such great advice that I would not be in the Senate today if it were not for Ronnie Siegel. And then, of course, we all know her as being one of the more glamorous of professional women. So she is such a unique person. And I think the quality I admire most about her, which is probably the quality that made her a great judge, is she has this kind of calmness about her. And, you know, there could be all kinds of chaotic things going on in the environment. And Ronnie's voice and her demeanor, it always brings you a sense of calm. Ronnie is the unique whole woman, the nurturing friend, the marvelous, very smart professional, the judge with integrity, and the woman who wants to make the world a little better.
It began, I think, as a prosecutor when I was vested with the responsibility of representing women and children who were the victims of sexual abuse, child abuse. It continued when I became an attorney in the family law area. It continued when I was on the bench and I served in the family court. And I knew when you spoke about the mission of women's rights, that this was perfect for me, because your goal was to have a significant impact and help women become economically and emotionally self-sufficient. So when we talk about, is this an organization that is successful in the community? It is, not for the words that we espouse, but for the deeds that we do. Indeed, I thought when I looked at the mission, your mission is really my mission. So I think I found a home here, and that's really what it means to me. I am thrilled, I'm honored. You are saying to me that I have made a difference and am making a difference in the lives of women and children and families. So I can't be more grateful than you have chosen me as a community change maker.
I'm an airline pilot, and I was involved in a whistleblower case for the airline that I work with, where I reported a safety event or safety concerns to my company, and they retaliated by sending me to a mental health professional, and who they paid a very large sum of money to say that I was bipolar. Subsequently, I won my case, or I should say Lee won my case.
I've been working in the airline industry as a labor lawyer representing unions and individuals for over 30 years.
He did not dismiss me because I was a woman. He did not dismiss me because I wasn't an attorney. He valued my opinion and he listened to it, and he wants to actually help people. If I could say anything about his practice, it's more about the people. It's more about helping. It's more about doing the right thing than it is the money. I know that Lee is a big brother. I know that he supports his community. He's in, he acts, he sings, he writes music. He's an entertainer. He's not only got that intelligence gene, but he definitely has the creative gene as well. And he really is going to go out and help anyone he can. And I know that his mother would be so proud of the man he is.
Phoebe Seaham was a person who gave of herself, who created from bits of yarn and string a new institution that has survived her, has created a legacy that's stretched out decades beyond her active participation. It was a way of helping people in general get to where they needed to be, whether it was confronting abusive spouses, learning skills so they could enter the job market, getting assistance with their child care, or just putting some bread on the table. It was people in need. And it happened to be that the people who were in the greatest need at that time were women. And that was my mother's focus. This is a very determined woman. She was someone who helped put my father through law school by working at IBM, had 4 children. And then when the youngest of the 4 children was in 1st grade, she decided to go to law school. And she was motivated to a great extent by her personal desire to break through glass ceilings. She didn't move up the ladder and not look down the rungs. She was interested in helping others accomplish what she was fortunate enough to accomplish. I have to thank our lucky stars, have to have a sense of gratitude, and to try to preserve and enhance what we have been fortunate enough to inherit. And for anyone to suggest that I might have contributed to my community in the way she did is highly flattering.